our first meeting of 2026. We've got a full house, so that is terrific. Glad you're here. I'll ask if you would please go ahead and silence your phones if you haven't done so already. And then we will get on with the program. Shar Becker, our new First Vice President, will introduce our speaker for today.
Thank you. Well, most of you already know Judy Dare, but there's probably a few things you don't know about Judy, so I'm going to let you find out what those are. Judy retired from a sales career in 2018. Her career included sales representative, marketing manager, and district manager for Cisco Foods, and then expanded into medical sales for Ethicon, Endosurgery, and Philips Healthcare. Judy has been a Master Gardener since 2019 and was Garland County and State Master Gardener of the Year in 2022. Woohoo! She credits the Master Gardeners for teaching her growing skills and introducing her to a group of people, many of whom she considers her gardening family. She has had the honor of speaking to church groups, garden clubs, Know It to Grow It programs, and Master Gardener meetings. She was chair of Know It to Grow It during the pandemic, hosting nearly 2 years of virtual Know It to Grow It broadcasts with Paul Kagaman, Garland County Library Adult Programming Director, ensuring the Know It to Grow It program continued providing great speakers to the public. Judy also founded Hope Garden in 2020. This garden produced over 3 tons of organic materials delivered to Project Hope and the Jackson House, providing for those in need. Judy credits Susan Caney, her partner in Grime, helping her keep Hope Garden producing and improving over the last several years. Judy is active in several organizations. Do you wonder how she sleeps? Including Garland County Master Gardeners, the Giving Team, Hot Springs Village Animal Welfare League, Spay and Neuter Clinics, and is on the boards of both VCK Democratic Women and the Democratic Party of Garland County. Earlier this year, she was selected to serve as county representative for the Hot Springs Water Advisory Board, all endeavors she feels very passionate about. Judy and her husband have lived in Hot Springs 2 times, moving twice for job opportunities. In 2006, they returned to Hot Springs to their Lake Hamilton home where they currently reside with their fur baby, Stella? In her free time, really? Judy is rehabbing a spot of land she calls Moon Garden, a place she hopes will support a host of native plants, pollinators, and her vegetable garden where she one day hopes to grow delicious tomatoes. Judy?
Good morning. Let me make sure my clicker's on. So a little side story about the Know It to Grow It. When the pandemic hit, Paul calls me and tells me, we're going to go virtual with this. And I'm like, awesome. I'll get you the speakers. And that worked out for 1 meeting. And Marty and Wayne Lynch set me up. Because the second meeting was with the Audubon Society, and they told the speaker, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, to tell Paul he wanted Judy to introduce him. So after changing my shirt 20 times, looking at myself in the computer, trying to get ready for that program, scared to death, I clicked on the live version and I looked like Mimi from Drew Carey. I had on so much makeup and I didn't even realize it. So here I go running off again, change into a t-shirt, scrub some stuff off my face, and that was the beginning of those 2 years. But I'll tell you, it was a wonderful experience, and we got to see so many really interesting speakers, from the night sky in Buffalo River to bats. And if you ever want to see any of those programs, they still live on the library website. And so if you need any education hours, just go to a Know It to Grow It and watch it. Some of them are really great. Most of them were, really. But today we're here to talk about Hope Garden. I get it. me wet my whistle. I can't whistle. So, the Hope Garden started because of the pandemic. We were getting ready for our plant sale, and in the Learning Greenhouse, we had decided we were going to grow vegetables, and we were so excited about it. And then, no plant sale. So I'm talking to Pam one day, and I'm like, I wonder what we're going to do with all these vegetables. And she said, I don't know. So I started asking around, does anyone have a plot of land? Now, keep in mind, I'd never grown a garden before. So Marty goes, I think they've got a learning garden over behind the detention center, and you might ask Captain Cosgrove if you can use it. So went over there, and sure enough, there were actually 13 beds, I guess, at the time, 15 beds. We ditched 3. And they were great, but they had no soil in them. So, lots of talking to master gardeners, and we said, hey, would y'all be interested in doing a project through the pandemic and just see what we can do? So we call it Hope Garden because everything was going to go to Project Hope. Then the jokes started. Well, you hope it's going to grow, all those kind of things. But we did hope it was going to grow. And here's a little shot about an art day. Squash. Oh boy. Ignorance truly is bliss. So the first year we grew squash, and it was beautiful. I mean, people would come up and say, your squash leaves are so big, and oh yeah, that was great. And we picked 40 pounds the first time we went down to Project Hope, and they were like fresh squash. They couldn't believe it. So that was a good year. Gotta get my readers on, sorry. Cataracts. But the squash bugs didn't show up until the next year. Now, squash bugs, everybody's nemesis. So we started planting in the beds again, and the squash bugs took over really quickly. Even though we did all the things we were supposed to do to get rid of them, insecticidal soap, taking the little copper color things on the side are the eggs. You can find them on the bottom of the leaves of the plant. The nymphs are the nasty little gray things you see there, and then the big squash bugs. So we did everything, but they kept coming. So let me take you back to this picture. Do you see what we have between the beds? Cardboard. Wow, were we excited, man. We're not going to walk in the mud. Everything's going to be great. So Susan and I were listening to an extension program on squash bugs. And they suggested a way to get rid of squash bugs. And that was to put cardboard down and the next day stomp all over it. And that will kill the squash bugs underneath the cardboard. Seems squash bugs love cardboard. So we tried. The next year we put landscape fabric between the rows, and that helped. But we also decided that we were going to put the squash in just a plot. No squash. Couldn't do that. So back to the beds. So there's our oops moment. Now, not only do squash bugs want your squash, but the vine borers want your squash. And the vine borers are actually laid by a moth. And they are swift flyers. We did try to catch it. And the vine borers are like little maggots, and they will root in your vines. And you can tell because there'll be a residue outside where they go in the vine, and it's really nasty. And so you can see the frass around the hole there. So then we got another great tip, and that tip was to cover the beds with a net. And don't take the net off until your plants are in full bloom, because they really don't need to be pollinated until they bloom. Well, we thought we were so smart. Before the plant actually bloomed, we saw adult squash bugs running around on our net. So we didn't know what to do. We tried to get them under control, and then we decided they'd won. So we pulled up all the plants and we waged war on the bugs. What our goal was to light them on fire and dance around the fire. And they were way too wet, so we couldn't get that done. So we finally wound up just getting some insecticide and just drowned them. But the one thing you can do for squash borers is to use BT. BT is a natural product, and what it does is it affects the caterpillar's stomach. So it actually blows the little critters out. So if you would keep it sprayed BT on anything that draws hornworms, vine borers, anything like that. So we did learn a lot about squash bugs, but we also learned, they said to plant them later in the summer, because squash bugs don't come out after July. That is an untruth. We still grew a great crop of squash, but we grew a great crop of squash bugs too. So anyway, don't believe everything you hear. Lesson learned. Okay, tomato heartbreak. Man, I'll tell you, we were looking forward to some great tomatoes. So Alan came out and planted, we all planted, and we really thought that they were gonna do great. But we found out that we had a virus, wilt virus, in the soil, and no tomatoes for us. The lesson learned here is don't forget your friends at the extension office. We did not know what the problem was, and until we took a plant down to the extension office, they sent it to the plant pathologist and said, you can't plant in that area for 5 years. So the other lesson to that was tomatoes were too much of a pain in the rump, and we're not growing them. So there you have it. Well then, another good sounding idea. We learned too much from the extension office. So ground covers. So they said what you can do to really build your soil is use a ground cover. And they call it green manure. And oh, it's so easy to grow, and then you just till it into the soil in the spring. So we did. And it was beautiful. The bees loved it, and it grew great. It was gorgeous. I mean, that's like a bed of mustard. Well, it's very difficult to till in a raised bed. And you saw 2 women out there, one with a small tiller and one with a tiller that was handheld, for hours upon hours, tilling mustard. And I think the mustard came back up throughout the summer, and we could pull it up. But cover crops are a great idea for garden plots, but don't do it in a raised bed unless you want a little heartache. Another really fun lesson we learned was about monarchs. So Marty had some extra tropical milkweed after the plant sale, so we decided we would plant it. And we were so excited. One day we're out there and we count 51 monarch caterpillars. So we're like, yay, we're gonna have this big crop of caterpillars. And so the next day I went out to check on them, but there was another lesson. Monarch caterpillars and many caterpillars have predators. And I went out and saw a red wasp eating one of our babies. When I counted, there were only 16 left. So, Susan, what are we gonna do? Well, I don't know if any of you know Susan well, but she's prepared in any circumstance. And so she said, I have a butterfly house. So she came out and rescued the caterpillars. And we now call her the mother of monarchs, because she raised all 16 of those caterpillars through pupa, and then they hatched, and then she let them out in nature. That's the third slide. That is actually one of the butterflies. And how do I get it to go back to, it's not that size, okay, there we go. Out to release in nature, and that was so very cool. But you know, when you look it up, ants, especially fire ants, wasps, and you know, some of these are really good pollinators, like wasps are great pollinators, but they really think caterpillar mushrooms are, caterpillar monarchs are wonderful. So, lesson learned there. Another lesson we learned, too much of a good thing is still too much. Everything was going great, so we said, hey, let's grow other stuff. So we put our beans in the ground instead of a bed, and we planted potatoes. From sweet potato slips that we grew at home, we were so proud. Well, the beans were a hit. We picked beans until we thought we would die of picking beans. One day, Susan and I picked a kitchen trash bag, 13-gallon. We picked 13 gallons of beans and would do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So beans, yay. They really worked out great. This was our potatoes. So they tried, but you know, once again, the weeds came, the bugs came, and we were just too spread out. We had a field of beans, we had a field of okra, we had a field of potatoes, and it was just too much. So, you know, lesson learned there is, you know, keep it small and profitable, I guess. So we decided to do the Edamame Challenge. And boy, that worked out great. Edamame grows huge. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's fuzzy little pods and beautiful blooms. And we were really excited because, you know, the Jackson house needs protein, and edamame is full of protein. And they've got a cook down there that can use anything. I mean, we can throw anything at her, and she's like, oh, I'll use it. Well, the only problem with edamame is you gotta shell it. So I actually asked Wayne and Marty if I could use her sheller, so we started shelling edamame. And it took 10 hours to shell 10 pounds of edamame. Edamame actually is so tough, it requires an edamame sheller, not a purple hull pea sheller. So that was another experiment. That was one and done. So, but they really enjoyed the edamame. Let's see where we are so far. How much longer I got, ladies?
3 minutes plus.
Oh, okay.
10 minutes plus 10.
Okay. I think we're getting close. All right. So the first year we were really ambitious and grew a fall garden. And the fall garden really worked out well. And it was nice not to work in the heat. But there is a season for rest. You can burn yourself out with this stuff. So that was the one and done for fall gardening. But we really produced some beautiful kale and a lot of other things, but not this time. But you know, some lessons are really, really fun. Susan was reading up about onions, and she found an incredible way, too long to explain how to do it, to grow onions. And so the fun thing about it is you don't see them until you take this visqueen off, because the little onion heads are coming up through the visqueen. That was the coldest day in March. We were freezing when we put those onions in. And we pulled 89 pounds of onions out of that bed. And so they were really delicious. And the thing about onions is dry them under a fan for a while. So these are the harvests that we started with. So we thought we were doing big stuff in 2020. 2021, don't really know what happened. We were trying to hone what everybody wanted. We actually went to the end users and said, what do you want us to grow? So 22 was like, blew our mind, 1,500 pounds. 23, 1,410. 24, not really sure what happened, but isn't that the year we had our Master Gardener Convention?
Yes.
That's what happened. And then last year, 1,286 pounds. So a lot of groceries that went to a very, very good cause, and we're very, very proud of it. And that on the picnic table was really kind of a average day for us. So if you're really lucky, you keep on learning. You see the weeds there? Well, every year we would go to that garden and work for about a week, pulling weeds from the beds. And we got smart. And we covered the beds. And so last year, when we went out, it was pristine soil. All we had to do was plant. We had long ago irrigated. Susan is a very good irrigator. James and Doc came out to help us start the irrigation, and we had inherited some irrigation and then bought some more. So irrigation, drip irrigation is a wonderful thing. But then this year, at my home garden, where I cannot grow a decent tomato, we started putting the landscape fabric down and planting through the landscape fabric. You talk about a joy. We hardly had any weeds this year, and it worked out really, really well. So, like I said, just keep learning. If you've got the capacity, just keep learning. So, as a follow-up, and I will take questions, but the best lesson is not to get discouraged. It's really easy. Mother Nature, bugs, the summer heat, it can really dampen your enthusiasm. One year is not going to be like the next. It's just not going to happen. And don't worry about having a big space. Like I said, we really expanded too big. You can grow a lot in a small area. Experimenting was fun, but we learned to use what could be utilized by our growers. We always plant cucumbers, okra, squash, and beans from seed. We also learned that summer dance cucumbers from Burpee and contender bush beans worked best for us. Long growing seasons are very demanding. We needed a winter break, and it was one of the most, I guess, hardest and most rewarding thing we've ever done. However, that being said, we're looking for some new blood to come into Hope Garden. So put that in your heart and think about it, because we've done it for 6 years and we really do need a break from Hope Garden. We're willing to help in any way we can, but we'd really love for the mission to survive. Keep in mind it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, if anyone has any questions for me about that, I'm happy to answer it, and I'm happy to answer any questions from y'all. Yes?
That first year you didn't have bugs on the squash?
No.
They found you this.
They found us. Oh, they found us. Yes, yes.
Did you count your hours?
Pardon me?
How many hours per year?
Oh my gosh. We counted them because it's a non-sanctioned project, which means no committee reports. Sorry, y'all, that was all we could do. But Susan and I got well over 200 hours every year. Now, we would do some other projects, but I mean, we're talking at least 2.5 hours every day that we would go out and planting, and then, covering the beds, and, if we had to put compost in the beds. It's a lot of work. But we kind of got it fine-tuned. Anyone else? Yes?
Where's the Hope Garden located?
The Hope Garden is located on the detention center grounds, right across from the Learning Greenhouse. So, and we have a really great guy now that mows for us. That one of the problems, one of the problems was we couldn't get the fields mowed. And I mean, I'm afraid of snakes. Someone sent me a picture. We went out to Hope Garden. Look at what we saw. And it was a hawk flying away with a snake. So we made a lot of noise every time we'd go out there. So we finally kept on the detention center because they're supposed to take care of the grounds. And we had, like many of the 309s, which are inmates that are allowed out, they've earned the right to be out and doing things, come over and mow. Well, they never could quite figure out to blow the grass away from the garden. So anyway, we finally have a really, really good one. But in between, we had Charles, and we learned to run for our lives that day. He came up to mow, and I don't know if he'd ever been on a zero turn before. So we're thinking he's gonna mow off somewhere else. He starts mowing right by Susan and I. He's flinging up stuff everywhere. He's about to run us over, literally. And Susan goes, we've got to run for it. So here we are running from this zero-turn mower to get in her car and take off, and he's following us, slinging gravel everywhere. So anyway, we talked, and he got demoted to weed eater. Yeah, anyway. So anyway, great experience. If anyone wants to, yes, ma'am.
Was there at any time, have you had any effort or interest in bringing inmates out to help with the actual, agrarian project?
Okay, so they did that before it was the Hope Garden. And the problem with that is it's a treadmill of coming and going. So you're always going back to the wheel, to train. And we just wanted to produce food. That was our main thing. We also tried to do some experiments like, hey, you want to, Master Gardener, you want to have a bed of your own and take care of it? Well, after the pandemic's over, everybody's busy, so attrition became Susan and I and Stephanie when she could come out, and she was a great bean picker, let me tell you. And, but, then it dwindles down to where, you can't let it go. You got to go out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And up until this year, I don't think the grind really got to us, but we're also expanding out into other activities ourselves, so we're looking for somebody. Anybody? Yes.
Judy, what will it take to make that a confirmed project for us?
I'll tell you what, it's not that I don't want to see it be a sanctioned project, but it's just too difficult. It was too difficult for me to even think about. I did not want to have to put a committee together. I did not want to have to, wait on people to come. I didn't want to have to say on a Sunday afternoon, hey, we're having a work day, and, Susan and I show up. So I'm not trying to be negative, but it was just easier for us to be more agile and non-sanctioned. You still get hours, so.
Yeah, well, it's not that, I just thought that being sanctioned, you would probably have more of a committee more than two.
Yeah, I doubt it. And we've got a lot of projects, so.
Yeah, we do.
But, I'll tell you what, the garden's in great shape now. We moved the shed up. We've got a little patio. We've got a bench, which we never use because we sat there one time and said, if we don't get up and start working, we're never going to get up. But it is nice to sit there and watch nature. Yes?
You said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but what times?
Well, we got out there about 8:30 in the morning, between 8 and 8:30, and picked. And Monday and Wednesday, we would deliver to Project Hope. And then on Friday, Jackson House would come pick it up. So that was a break for us. But that was just the picking. I mean, the garden grew so well that we always had a crop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until later in the fall. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
You want your notes?
Yeah.
All right, we are ready to begin our business part of the meeting. So we start each meeting with our minutes from, first of all, since this is our first meeting, let me introduce your new officers for 2026. Okay, I am Sherry Davis, your new president. This is Shar Becker, please stand for your first vice president. Annette Gibson, I don't know why you're way over there, but she's your second vice president. Becky Landis, secretary. Cheryl Beaufort is basically the only one on the committee who's not brand new, your treasurer. And then Tricia Freeman, your past president. All right, so now we'll start with the minutes. Becky?
Okay, there were no minutes for December meeting, but the minutes for the executive meeting last week have been printed. And if there are any changes, let me know. If not, they'll be recorded as written.
Okay, finances, your treasurer, Cheryl Volkert.
Okay, and we have an oopsie. Because I didn't get the reports in time to do the report, the papers in time to do the report for December. So I'm going to do the reports and send them and have them approved, and then they will be put in the weekly newsletter. She's gonna put them in there for y'all to look at. Okay?
All right, next up is Char Becker, our first vice president, to talk about our projects.
Okay, for the committee chairs, you already know that the handbook is 99.9% complete and updated. That'll be ready to go out to our new master gardeners next Thursday at the January 22nd meeting. If you are a chair or you have questions about that handbook, you should all have one from last year. They always go out at the end of March or February after the new master gardeners have had all of their training. Those are all sent out, so that's where you would see the handbook. But if you have questions about your specific project, give me a holler, let me know. There were quite a few updates to the handbook this year, so we're in pretty good shape. That's it. Thank you.
All right, second vice president, Annette, for membership.
So, good afternoon. Today, our number of attendance is 102. So we have to have like 1/3 of 253 people to make, which is 83 to make a quorum. So we have that, if we had to vote on anything today. Okay, we have 9 guest members today, and we want to welcome you to your first Master Garden meeting. And the names on here, I'm just gonna say the first names, because some of the last names I couldn't quite read. But it's Dana, Rob, Emily, Scott, Brea, Nita, Lisa, Wes and Kim, and Leanne. We want to thank you for coming. And the majority of the people today are new master gardeners. That's who you just... Now we want to talk about last year's hours. Now I'm going to put my glasses up because I want all of you to know that we are doing hours, and I would love for you to, when you go out and do your hours, to put your hours into our system. I would love that if you would do that. I also want to say last year hours, we had the best hours, and the sanctioned hours was 17,824. Okay, the work hours was 1,478 hours. Non-sanctioned. Education hours were 7,231 hours. So our total hours for the year is 26,533. You should give yourself a big hand. Now, for volunteer hours, they're paid by the state, and it's $34.79 an hour. Okay? Yes. So, I have one last thing. Since I'm doing members, each one of you had a blue ticket. You came in. And if you would get your tickets out really quick, I'm just going to pull a name, well, the number out of here. And let's see who is taking home that gorgeous orchid outside. Okay, the number is 21613-100. You can pick that up out front. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Annette. All right, next up, our past president, Tricia Freeman, mentors, first year mentor gardeners, lots of stuff.
Okay, we have a large class. We've got 25 new master gardeners that are taking the training. We have a transfer from Shreveport. We have another transfer that got her training last year, so this year she's got to go for the 40 hours. And then we've got, I think, 2 from last year that need to finish up their hours. We've got mentor training tomorrow from 1 to about 2 over here at the Corn Court. And on the 22nd, we have the orientation for the new master gardeners at
12th, 19th, and 26th. It's going to be at the EHC building at the Garland County Fairgrounds, which is the first building you see on the outside of the gate. It'll be where all the cars are and where the garage at the parking lot is. Now, if you want to come, you have to register with Patty and you have to pay for lunch because the lunch is being provided by the Extension Homemakers and they want to have a count.
And as usual, the classes start at 8 in the morning. So it's 8 to 4. If you want to be there all day, obviously you can come other times. You don't have to stay all day. All right, next up, we have some unfinished business. First of all, Hildy has one thing, and then we'll move into the
I love going up there. Let me go up there. Much rather be in front of people and more importantly, behind the podium so nobody sees what the rest of the woman looks like. Okay? I want to be behind the podium so nobody sees what the rest of the woman looks like. So all of that said, it's old business really, not just new business. And the old business is the awards committee needs to go ahead and recognize the past president. The past president always gets a gift. In years back, we gave them money, but this year, no. Come here, Tricia. Tricia is getting just a card. That's all she's getting.
But it's a birthday card.
No, that comes later. Open it up. It's a thank you, and what she will have is a new little hanger, and because she was president twice, in 2020 and in 2025, it says, President of Garland County Master Gardeners, President of the Year 2020 and 2025. Now, if you look at it, there's not much room. She can't come back. It's a symbol. And then while we are at it, I just looked at Facebook, and there's this note from the new president to the old president saying, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Go sing, guys. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You're too low. Happy birthday, dear Tricia. Happy birthday to you. Terry Jo Gray, where are you? Right here. It's your birthday too? One more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry Jo. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, now we will introduce the awards committee. Rebecca Tutton is chair of the awards committee. They will be presenting the recipients of the 2025 awards. The committee consists of Sheila McClarty, Pam Connor, Mary Wittenberg, Suzanne Becker. There will be 6 presentations, and not only are these presentations or these recipients chosen by their fellow master gardeners in Garland County-wide. But the committee submits a paper to the state with the objective to put these recipients in contention for a state award. And I will personally add, having received one of these awards at one time, there's no greater honor than being recognized by your peers. So take it seriously when they ask for nominations. Rebecca?
Okay, we have 6 presentations, so let's get started.
Talk right into the microphone.
Talk right into it, is that better? Well, I'm going to swallow it. Okay. I hope I can do the slides and read my notes at the same time. That's going to be the challenge here. Okay, our first winner or recipient is Pam Bentz. She is the Master Gardener of the Year. Pam and her husband came to Hot Springs from Wisconsin, and while they were walking through the farmer's market, they stopped at Ask a Master Gardener, and the rest is history. She became a Master Gardener. She has co-chaired the county fair, and last year she was the chair of a very successful county fair. Pam has gotten very involved in youth projects, and she has worked with Garvin Gardens as well with youth projects. Pam does not hesitate to take on new projects, and she strives to make projects better. So please help me congratulate Pam Bentz, our Master Gardener. Our second recipient is the Rookie of the Year, Janet Aragon. I wish I had as much energy as Janet. She is the mother of twin 3-year-olds. She is also a RN that works at Arkansas Children's Hospital and Information Services. And with all that, she, as a Rookie of the Year, got involved in multiple projects. She has been involved with youth activities at Park Magnet School, the Sprout Squad, Ask a Master Garden, Ask for the Police Memorial, and also in the Green Team. So having Sheila part of Master Gardener makes us a kinder and a gentler organization. So please congratulate Sheila as Our next project is Project of the Year, Southern Inspiration Garden, and that chair is Alan Wright. SIG is kind of a unique project in that it is a unique project as it is nestled in about 210 acres of Garvin Gardens. It has been our garden from the very beginning. We opened it to the public in 2016. We had 25 gardeners that worked in 2025. You need to flash that, Alan, to everybody.
Not flash, everybody.
That was the wrong word. That was show it to everybody.
Please.
Oh, I need to show
Because
some
it is
pictures
definitely a
here.
team project.
Stay out there.
Yeah. Yes, there you go.
they had 25 gardeners last year that worked for 263 hours. Some of the challenges they face in the SIG garden is that they're somewhat remote and the deer love everything that's being planted there. Last year was somewhat of a budgetary challenge for them. They used plants that were not sold from the plant sale, and their members brought a lot of the plants to the garden. And it was beautiful. I don't think anybody recognized that these were plants from people's homes or unsold plants. This team did an amazing job. The shade trees have gotten very large. They're all constantly having to change out sun-loving plants to shade-loving plants. Alan has been an amazing leader, and we wanted to show this year a recognition for the team, and so that's why we did this sign, so that they can put this out at the SIG garden so people will know that they won a project. So please congratulate. Can the people from the SIG garden, if you're here, can you stand up? Did anybody? Now you can leave, Alan. And you don't have to flash anymore. And again, I forgot. Okay. Our next recipient is excellent in education, and that is So Until. And the chair is Karen Grisham. So Until is a mighty but small project, and they have just spread their wings in 2025. They have gone out into the community, and they are sharing. They are sharing their research-based gardening. They have been partnering with the hospices. Thank you. There we go. The Hospice Society. They're in the library. They're at the farmers market and youth services. So their programs touch a lot of people. Approximately 400 people come into the library, 1,100 at the farmers market, 1,400 visits at the county fair. So they now are out into the community. This small project has just done an amazing job. So if Karen and her, the rest of So Until would stand up. Did anybody come with you? Hey! Please congratulate them. As you can see, again, we wanted to honor the team, and so we did a banner so that whenever they go into the community or here, they can put it on their table. So you have done an excellent job.
Thank you. I want to have people to stand up.
They did.
Oh, they did already?
Yes.
Okay.
And our last but not least is our individual friend of the year, Rick Bentz. If Rick's last name sounds familiar, it is because he is the spouse of Pam Bentz, our Master Gardener of the Year. He started volunteering with us in 2022. He has outstanding leadership and maintenance skills, from what I understand. He has been the backbone of helping us build a lot of the projects at the county fair, as well as other areas, planter box that have come apart. He has gone home, gotten the necessary tools, and come and helped repair those. When I was reading through the nomination forms, the two things that stood out to me that described Rick was that he finished the project, no matter how late it was, and that he had a great sense of humor. So Rick, we appreciate everything that you have done for us, and please join me in congratulating Rick. So those of you who have won an award, if you will stay after the meeting, and if you're part of a group, would you please stay afterwards so that we can take your picture as a group. So congratulations. Again, why do I keep forgetting this? There's Rick again with some of his projects. But congratulations to all winners and to all nominees.
Okay, thank you very much. Great presentation and congratulations to all of our winners. Up next is the Coleus Fund that we produce each year, and Jennifer Jennings is our chair this year. She's going to tell you just a little bit about where she is at this point.
Thank you. Just to review, and because we have some visitors today, the Coleus Fund is our way of giving back to the community. We end up giving almost or quite anywhere from 0 to 10% of our proceeds from our plant sale. And I have been talking to several of you, but I would love more ideas about different ideas or projects that we can do with. We have a little bit over $1,800 right now to utilize. So if you have ideas or anything that you might want to give to me, I'm in the directory. You can email, call, or text. Just right quick, 2 or 3 ideas I have received is maybe doing wildflowers along Martin Luther King. We would have to have a big sign there to keep the mowers out of the way, but it would add some beauty to our area. The committee that works at the library has talked to me about maybe doing some signage for some of the plants that they have planted there, and also maybe doing a sign for the bird habitat area to kind of explain what's going on there. I also have talked to the director at Ouachita Community Center, which houses some of our children who are dealing with some issues. And I know that James Moore, this is not a project for Master Gardeners, but out of the goodness of his heart, has some raised beds there. And she gave me some more ideas and has invited me to come out and to look at her area. And I will be doing that at some point in February. But I would love more ideas. This is something that we will vote on as Master Gardeners when we have all the ideas together. And if you're interested in being on this committee, I would love that also. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. All right, next up, we're finally on to our new business, and Shara is going to give you a little bit of an overview on our strategy document, some of the major changes that have happened for this year.
Okay, so I think for the first time, at least a few people have told me that they've never seen this document, even though it is sent out, again, with all that other stuff at the end of February after training. But the reason, if you didn't get a copy, let me know. I'll make sure you get a copy. It's a very, I think, short and brief, but informative in terms of dates that are on everything from executive meetings, which a lot of you probably don't even want to know about, but as far as state meetings, like P&G is going to be one day this year on a Saturday. It's changed. So there's just a lot of very good specific dates of all kinds of activities in the strategy. So take a look at it. We left December's meeting open as far as a date because we're trying to move it up a week. Attendance was a little weak at the potluck last December, and we thought, well, maybe it was because it was too close to Christmas. So that's why it's open. And there are a few other dates that are still, they're varied and they'll change as the year goes on. But if you have questions about what's in here, give me a holler. It's just a really quick and easy down and dirty document to have handy. Put the dates on your calendar. That's it. Thanks.
All right, Matt, you're not, come back up. You're doing the project sign-ups as well.
Oh, yeah. Drinking water out of a fire hose. So Donna Woodard is helping me. Is Donna here today? Yay, hi Donna. Clear out the sign-up genius for projects. Hopefully, we're looking for next week. Early next week to send those out. So we're clearing out all of the names. You need to re-enter your name for each project. Okay? So the sign-up genius for project membership will go out next week. All right? That's it. Thanks.
All right, so now we're down to announcements. Also, before I start those, if you want an announcement, if you'll please get it to me the week before. I've had several people come today wanting things added to the agenda, and that just really doesn't work very well. Yes, doesn't work very well. Okay, first up though is Sow and Till. Karen has a few things to say and a giveaway. Here. Technical difficulties.
They do. This is, I made it with a vase and a candy dish, and I did an acrylic pour, and I used outdoor paint and outdoor resin to seal it, and I put the opening at the bottom, so if you want to put it in your garden, you can do it, just get a stick or a rebar or whatever you want, just to hold it up so the weather doesn't knock it over. And so here's a little mushroom.
Okay, and the winner is Susan Koenig. Okay, onward through announcements then. Thank you, Karen. That was gorgeous. Plant Sale and Garden Show. 4 little bullet points here. We're in January, so we're only 3 months away. Our supplier, the member that always helped us get our grasses and ground covers together, has moved away. So we don't have a supply of grasses and ground covers this year. So if you have any, we would really love for you to help us out in that area. Dig some up, let us come over and dig for you, pot it up, that kind of thing. And also, the Fountain Lake Greenhouse, we are from last year, we have lost a quarter of that space to the school. They're going to use it themselves. So we have a quarter less plants than we had last year. Therefore, please propagate at your home. Baby them through, bring them to the plant sale. And if you've got extra space, we'll be happy to give you some others to babysit until the plant sale, because we need to kind of get things out of the greenhouse if we can, so we can begin to make more. Also, for the first time, we are going to have a I did that last lesson. A bake sale at the plant sale. The area where we used to have the hospitality booths kind of stuff set up, we're not allowed to do that anymore, so we're going to turn that into an area for a bake sale. Again, we're asking you all to contribute to that. If you've got a favorite cake or pie or whatever it is you like to make and would like to contribute that, we would love to have it. Just make sure it is properly labeled. If it has peanuts, be sure it says it's got peanuts in it. So we don't, any nuts, whatever. All those allergen kinds of things. Make sure it's labeled. I did have another note, but Loretta tells me that's not true anymore, so I'm going to scratch that one out about the mother plants. Okay, Michael Carr's church. Is Michael here? First President? She says they have lots of poinsettias that they're trying to give away. If you want poinsettias, please see Michael. Charlene, over there. Charlene O'Neill is not here. She is starting a non-sanctioned project at CASA. That's the Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children. It's on Hobson Street. They have been donated and received a new building there that used to be the old United Way building. So they're going to fresh up the landscaping at that building. So if you'd like to work with her on that project, that's Charlene O'Neill. Two others that have come in to me today. There are daffodil bulbs out front in big crates. There's lots and lots of them. They are for you all to take as much as you want. The rest we'll probably end up putting in the plant sale. And the Hosta Society is meeting on February 7th at 9:30 at the library. If you have questions about that, see Ann Butcher back there in the very corner.
Sherry, Randy Forrest is going to be our speaker.
Yay.
Okay, Randy Forrest will be our speaker at the Hosta. That's what we're talking about, that Hosta. All right, Annette had one other thing.
So members, the online reporting is open for hours.
Yay.
Okay? And just today, the end of December, just today, Hildy gave me an update that there's 392 sanction hours that has been already entered, and education hours, 42 hours. So thank you, get those hours in.
All right, we have, Cheryl just tells me we have 48 members who have not paid their dues. 28, excuse me. I can't remember the number from here to there. 28 members who have not paid their dues. Today is the deadline for that. If you got your money with you, please see Cheryl. Otherwise, go by the office, please. And, okay, our next meeting will be February 19th, right back here, same day, same time. One other.
I have questions on the pledge you gave your flavors for losing on the greenhouse day. Do you have specific things you want people to talk about?
We don't have a list at this time, but if whatever you've got, we would love to have it.
But isn't it supposed to be hanging baskets?
No, any plants that you think the public would want to buy.
The date of the plant sale, please.
The date, April 25th is the date for the plant sale. One day. And starting next month's meeting, you'll be getting lots and lots more information. Lots of details as usual. All right, thank you very much. We'll see you in February. Adjourned.